I'm gonna open with what I call the Oprah question.
Oh.
What do you want the audience to walk away with? What do you want them to say, oh, okay, I learned that today from watching us?
Well, I think my biggest regret of the season is not standing up for myself. So maybe it's that, is that it is in me. I do have it. I would have done so many things different knowing now knowing then what I know now, but maybe it's that. You know, I think everyone's frustrated at me for not saying things in the moment, and I'm frustrated at myself. I would do that different.
It feels like you are trying to hurt all of us.
You gotta stop with the bloggers.
I had to hire an attorney to sue the nanny. Do you understand that?
I never thought that I would be portrayed as this season's villain. You know, I just saw an interview where they were talking about the Monica Garcia moment was me, and I just don't see it that way.
Yeah, your castmates talked a big game as we've approached mid-season. They said it all makes sense, wait and see, the bomb is gonna drop. Was the lie detector test the so-called bomb?
Well, to me it was in the moment, because I was taking the lie detector test with that woman, the Bangs woman, and thinking it was real, and thinking I'm telling the truth. And then the results were revealed 30 seconds later, and they were that I had lied about everything. So I left there feeling very defeated until I remembered who was actually administering the test.
Do you want to see something?
Sure.
So that guy that they hired, you know he's a paid actor?
No.
This is Wendy, who works for him. This is all on his website. He tells you like all these different things you can book him for, and for some can do simple acting.
It's very easy to Google about this duo that administered the lie detectors, and I think the women got what they thought wanted to happen, right? Was to prove I'm some sort of liar.
Well, and I kept thinking, because one, lie detector tests are an unreliable technology.
Yes.
They're unadmissible in court.
Correct.
So they're kind of an unproven pseudoscience. But if we're going to believe the results of the lie detector test, we have to believe it for everyone. And it felt like it was kind of selective reaction to it until yours was a full, you failed everything.
Correct.
So that must be true.
Well, and they are not admissible in court, right? And we have the lawyer of our group hiring the person to do the lie detector. That was a little strange. I will say it was strange to me looking back, because in the moment I was a little frazzled, but looking back, the only people that got every question right was Gina, Emily, and Gretchen. That seemed a little suspect to me.
It almost feels like death by 1,000 paper cuts for you.
Yes.
Like, no individual action was all that egregious. It's just, in your castmates' eyes, the volume of instances with you. Do you regret anything leading up to that lie detector test moment?
I do regret becoming friendly with some of these, what they call bloggers, but I call them content creators, podcasters, whatever. But I will say, first, half of my cast have podcasts. So that's a strange thing to me. Also, my husband and I have been in media for, my husband, 20 plus years. It's not abnormal to think we're friends with the media. Some of Matt's best friends have been on Golf Channel, Good Morning America, ESPN. So that's why it didn't seem so weird for me to befriend them in a way. I also wanted them to get to know me because I felt like last season nobody actually got to know who I was. And I thought if they're gonna talk about me, if they're gonna roast my family, they might as well know exactly who I am.
So that's why you were kind of pouring into these relationships that then become questionable, is because you...
I don't feel like I poured in. I feel like saying, like, oh, thanks, that was really nice, thank you, hearting something. I don't think that's pouring in. Also, two of the people that I became friendly with are friends of friends that happen to do social media around pop culture.
There has been a lot of discussion this season online around race. Do you think this kind of freezing you out of the group has anything to do with racism?
I can't say for certain, I'm not them. All I can say is what I said in the show is that sometimes people say things not realizing that there are biases behind the words they're using. I feel like maybe we should do some learning and some Googling and some talking to people to learn. And some situations did make me feel very much like an other.
Do you feel like it was premeditated, this sort of ice out coming into this season, now knowing how it shook out for you?
I do. I heard from one castmate that another castmate called head of production and said, we need to give Gretchen Katie's orange, we want her out. So that's where the planning started from the very beginning of the season. I also think you see in the episode where Gina says to Gretchen, don't worry, we have a plan. And then says to Tamara, we got her, don't worry. So I think a lot of things were premeditated and planned.
Don't worry about Katie. All right, we've got Katie. Because we've got her.
Today will be a pivotal day in this group.
So the lie detector is sprung on you.
Correct.
Do you regret taking it?
No, because if I would have said, look, I'm not taking this, I'm leaving, then they'd have been like, see, she's a liar, she's not taking it. I was damned if I did, damned if I didn't. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to tell the truth and be proven to be telling the truth.
You've lost your credibility with everybody here.
Yeah, Katie, maybe you should go.
I'll go.
You should go.
Okay.
Why didn't you stand up and fight back in that moment?
Well, part of me was like, okay, good, I cannot wait to leave. And then the other part of me was like, no matter what I say, these people want to villainize me. So like, why should I be screaming and yelling? They're not gonna believe me anyways.
The bulk of these women paint you as a pathological liar. Do you see yourself as a pathological liar?
I do not. I think that everybody, day to day, may tell a white lie here and there. We all tell our kids that Santa exists. So there's that. But no, I'm not a pathological liar.
In the premiere, Emily had a notes app of offenses, so to say,
saw that.
things you have allegedly done. That included lying about Heather's paparazzi photo, Heather snubbing you at a party, the fact that you were house hunting in Orange County just to meet Gina, that Gina spoke ill of Heather, all the drama with her kids, your daughter, and Heather, and that you will only go to Korea if it's paid for / filmed for
That's the most
show.
egregious one, by the
Okay.
way. I've been waiting to talk about this. 10, 12 years ago, I was approached to film a documentary about finding my birth mother. I said it wasn't for me at the time. I was going through a divorce, and emotionally I couldn't do it. That's what she's just referring to, is something over a decade ago. I put off finding my birth mother last summer because my father was dying. I'm sorry, my father-in-law was dying. We went back to San Diego to be with him. We saw him every day. My husband went twice a day to see his dad. He did end up passing away. And then after that, leading into the reunion and after the reunion, it was all too emotional for me. I don't think I'm ready. These women and I have gone through something, feels like a tornado, and I'm not emotionally ready to open that Pandora's box of emotions.
And would these be the people you would want to take on that journey kind of question with you?
No. If I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be with my family, only.
Are there any lies you want to own up to or set the record straight on right now?
No.
No. We know you did at least lie about the naked wasted stuff to a point. You said to protect Gretchen.
Oh, yes. I did lie in the beginning about that.
Okay, but here's the thing. Am I saying what really happened or am I protecting Gretchen right now?
Tell me what really happened. We'll go from there.
After Matt spoke to me, the night all this information came out about Kiki, Monique, and Gretchen, Slade called Matt and said, tell Katie to say that Gretchen never said it, and I have to, quote unquote, hold the line and protect Gretchen.
When my husband got the call when we were in New Orleans that it had all come out and Slade had called my husband over and over and over, sent him a text that said 911, I was new, and hearing that somebody said they're really mad at Katie. So I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do.
But why would you believe a middleman?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think it was all very overwhelming, and to hear my husband say, hey, this is what's happening, it's a little bit scary, I went with that. I don't know.
It seems clear Gretchen at some point did say she went to the hospital, because we have seen her on camera both say she did and didn't go. Could there have been a game of telephone where this snowballed into she needed to be hospitalized, and that snowballed into maybe she was drugged, blah, 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 that kind of a false memory was created?
No.
No.
1,000% no. In fact, after she said it, my husband and I got in the car, valet at Mastro's. We were like, holy cow, can you believe that? And then I discussed it on the phone with Jen after that. And then the following spring, I discussed it again with Jen and Ryan and Slade on the phone. So no, there's no mistaking it. You don't forget something like that.
No. But I think Gretchen is somebody that would have exposed this years ago, it feels like.
Well, I think that she and Jen have bonded over equally hating Tamara. And I think that she, in that moment, wanted to prove to me and my husband, hey, this is how awful Tamara is, you should hate her too. So do I think she actually went to the hospital? No. Do I know that she told me that she did? Yes.
Okay. Kiki Monique, you have this lunch meeting with her. She swears that you told her this information there. She also claims you shared a tidbit about Gina making a comment about Asian designers there.
Yes.
She said that she was trying to wear Asian designer to showcase them. And she said you came in and you saw her outfit and you looked at her and you said, "Is that an Asian designer?"
How would she have this information if you are not the person who provided it to her?
You know, I don't know, and I really don't want to speak on Kiki much anymore. I know she's doing every podcast she can and posting about it and talking about it constantly, and I think she got what she wanted, which was the recognition. As far as the Gina comment, I was supporting a woman of color in social media, in the pop culture space. I have been a fan of Kiki's for many years, and we bonded over being two women of color in this space, and that came up. Because we were, I don't know how it came up exactly, but we were discussing how there are these weird microaggressions that sometimes happen. Maybe they didn't mean to, but it happens that way, and that's how that came up.
So you did share that with her.
I did.
On the Gretchen front, though, how would she have the exact same reading of a moment that no one else has, except for you?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. What do you make
But
of...
I did not tell her.
In her press blitz responding to all this, she has said, I think Katie owes me an apology, and it feels like she's double tripling down to smear my name. Do you have anything to say to that?
I do not owe her an apology. I think that she willingly signed the release to be on the show. She put on the microphone. She is willingly doing all of these podcasts. She wanted this. This is not something I forced her to do, to film and to then go on social media and to talk and to do all these things. She wanted to do that.
When you look back at how this entered the conversation on the show, it came through Tamara. She is also the person who brought up that you recorded Shannon. How do you feel about it, all roads leading back to Tamara, who at this point in time is kind of the only woman giving you the time of day in this group?
True. It doesn't feel good in the moment, but like I've said, and I've said to you before, people love to hate Tamara, but she keeps our conversation going. She keeps the show moving, and it's why she's been on this show for 15, 16 years. I don't know the exact number. She's the longest running housewife because she keeps it going. And it doesn't feel good to be at the brunt of it, but I guess that's housewives.
She said I said that.
She said that you told her that.
That is just literally insane to me. I don't even understand why she would say that.
What was your reaction to watching Gretchen and Gina meet up with Kiki and the conversation they had? Do you have anything to kind of correct the record there, or context to add to that conversation, or just reaction to Gretchen breaking down in tears?
I wish I had been a part of that conversation. I wish I could have filmed that scene with them. I did reach out to Kiki multiple times and she never responded back to me, which was strange. And Gretchen looked upset, but there were no tears.
What would you have said if you were at that table?
I would have asked her why she's doing this. Why does she want this 15 minutes? Why is she trying to smear my name? If she's accusing me of smearing her name, that's exactly what she's doing to me.
On the note of the Shannon recording, Alexis Bellino has been on Carlos King's podcast about once a week saying, I heard this thing.
Yes.
Why is she so adamant that she heard it? And you're saying she never heard it, you just relayed the context of it to her.
Right. I don't know why she's doing that. Maybe she misses the show, I'm not sure, but I'd like for her to tell me exactly what's said on it. Tell me exactly what she says, because you can hear it clear as day what Shannon says. It's not very long. So if you heard it, tell me what it says.
As all this came to a head, Jen really took a back seat in your friendship. And she's kind of framed it as, this is not my fight, this is your mess, I want no part of it, don't rope me into it. How do you feel about how she's handled this?
It's very sad. Jen is someone that I dearly loved, and I felt like last year I stuck up a lot for her in situations regarding the dress, at Neiman Marcus and Ryan and all the allegations about Ryan. I stuck by her through everything. And I feel like when she saw the gang up on me, she thought, oh, I don't want to go down with the sinking ship, so I'm going to jump ship, basically.
If we are to believe you, Jen is either lying by omission, or has selective hearing and or amnesia. What is your read on why she can never back up things you claim she saw with her own eyes?
I'm not sure about the Shannon recording situation. I'm not sure about her remembering or not remembering calling me a con artist. But I will say that her hate for Tamara is greater than her love for me. And that's what all this boils down to.
She's seemingly had quite a tough time coming out of the Lie-Detector episode. She's been posting a lot on her socials saying, instead of sending hate to me, go over to Katie's page, leave love. What's your reaction to seeing that play out?
Well, it's kind of hard to talk about this right now. It's a little bit scary because the things that she's doing online are kind of scary. I don't know. I don't need anyone to feed my ego. It's hard. I miss talking to her and I miss the relationship we had, and hopefully we can repair it one day.
She is kind of the only one actively posting about this situation. Everybody else seems to kind of be ignoring the backlash. What has been your reaction to seeing that the audience, I don't know, 90% seems to be behind you?
I don't think that anyone, including myself, knew it would go this way. I really was like, oh my God, I need to go into hiding. Like, I'll just hide in the house for a while. I'm very thankful for the fan support, but I will say that I don't like any of the bullying online. I don't condone any of it. I don't like the harassment the ladies are getting. I don't want them to feel the same way I felt this season.
When did the light bulb go off for you that, oh, this is not the firing squad I thought I was walking into as the season aired?
I was shocked. I was literally shocked. I think Matt and I sat in bed and we were looking through things and we were like, wow, amazing, you know? But fans are smart and I think they can sniff from a mile away a setup, and that's what happened.
Thankfully, this was kind of a quick turnaround season. You didn't have to sit on it that long
I
to get to
know.
watch, but I'm sure
That's
those
true.
3-4 months or whatever it was felt heavy.
I finally slept a whole night the Thursday the polygraph aired. Literally, I woke up, I was like, wow, I slept the whole night because I had been so anxious about that episode and how it would go.
Part of your defense early on in the season to kind of clean up the mess of last season and what happened in between was I viewed it as eat or be eaten.
Yeah.
When did you come to that realization, and when did you realize that's not the way to approach this group?
When did I come to that realization?
Yeah.
Did you watch the reunion?
No, you did. You wanted
no,
it
I
to.
didn't.
This is
No,
your
I
thing.
didn't.
By
Don't
the way,
put words in my
falsely
mouth.
accusing people's kind of your thing. I get it.
Oh my God.
What else has there been falsely?
I think you thought it was funny.
She falsely accused someone, and he ended up going to prison. And
He didn't go to prison.
After that reunion, my husband drove up and waited outside of the gates for me because he heard from my team that I was in shambles. And I left there like, I feel dumb. How did I not come into this reunion knowing that it would hit below the belt so hard? I am not afraid to talk about my past and things that have happened in a loving way where we can share about things, not as a weapon that I'm a bad person, right? So after that reunion, I was like, well, if I get asked back, I have to think about things a little bit differently. And whether that was good or bad, don't know.
Is there any misconception left over from that pile on at reunion that you feel like you haven't gotten to clear the air on yet?
I don't think so. I wish when Heather came over to apologize, I would have maybe spoken back to her a little bit, now knowing what I know. But I was trying not to cry. I was trying to be strong in that moment.
Knowing what you know in the sense that Gina claimed that Heather's the one who made sure that Emily had
Dug
that
up all the
information.
stuff and then passed it around, yes.
Which Heather's denied digging it up. She said it just kind of crossed her desk.
Right, well, it didn't cross mine.
This week, is this the last time we're gonna see you for a bit?
I think you'll have to wait and see.
Okay, that media training kicking in.
Yeah.
But
That's the only thing I retained.
You did take a step back from this group.
I did not film for a little while.
Was that your choice, production's choice, a mutual agreed thing?
I think that it was on, don't know how to say this. It wasn't beneficial for me to keep filming.
Okay. This did mean you missed out on the final trip,
I did.
which you've said you wanted to go on.
I did. I asked them if I could show up.
Now that you know where everything truly has landed, are you glad you didn't wind up there? Would that maybe have made things worse?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I don't know. Maybe it would have. I have taken a break, and where it's at is very good. So maybe I just stick to that.
The first time you could see these women in quite a while is going to be reunion.
Correct.
which I believe is set to tape next month.
Correct.
Will you be there?
I will be there.
All right. What are you most looking forward to and or dreading about that day?
I'm hoping to get some apologies. Big ones.
Who do you most want an apology from?
I think it's kind of equal across the board. I would like to discuss this setup and trying to push me out. And like I said, I'd like some apologies.
How do you think all the women are going to approach that day, now knowing how the audience feels about season 19?
It's probably going to be a lot of heat coming my way. It might be everyone on one side and then just me. I don't know, but...
I did see a mock seating chart where it was everyone and then you and Tamara.
See? It's not just me that thinks that. Oh, man.
But do you think they might have a little tail between their legs kind of moment?
You think these women have tail between their legs?
I'm not saying that. I'm asking you if you think that's possible.
I think that Jen has a lot of humanity about her. I think that is a person that would be a little regretful.
Have you heard from anybody in the aftermath of the lie detector test episode airing?
Tamara, and that is it.
And what did she say?
How are you doing? She checks in on me, which is really nice.
Is there anybody that you would like to continue a friendship with, rebuild a friendship with, or is it kind of, you show me who you are, I cannot move forward with you?
I don't see a path forward with Gretchen. I think that what happened and then some other things that have come out are kind of hardline things for me. And, you know, I feel really hurt and betrayed by Emily and Gina. So I don't know about that, but everyone else I could see myself repairing and moving forward.
So Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if she's gonna move forward.
Well, you know, there's always hope, Bryce.
And then Tamara and Heather. Mm-hmm. Okay. What would moving forward look like for you?
Well, first I need them to actually get to know me and talk to me as a human being and maybe offer an apology for things they've done, because I have apologized over and over and over, and I mean that, but I have, and I think I'm done apologizing. I've done that.
That's all I got for you.
All right, thanks, Bryce.
See? Not as bad as a lie detector.
True. If you had a real one, though, I'd appreciate it.